Have you ever tried to forget someone, only to realize your brain keeps bringing them back? A song, a place, a smell, even a random word, suddenly, they're in your mind again. Why? Most people think it's because they still have feelings, but neuroscience tells a very different story. Your brain doesn't store people because they're important. It stores unfinished patterns. Every day, your brain processes millions of pieces of information. Almost all of them disappear, but some experiences refuse to leave, not because they're stronger, but because they're incomplete. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik Effect. In the 1920s, psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik made a fascinating discovery. She noticed that waiters remembered unpaid orders perfectly, but the moment the customer paid, the memory almost disappeared. Why? Because unfinished tasks keep consuming mental resources. Finished tasks don't. Your brain hates open loops. Now think about relationships. Someone suddenly disappears. A conversation ends without closure. A breakup happens without explanation. A friendship slowly fades away. Your brain doesn't see those as memories, it sees them as unfinished business. And unfinished business demands attention. That's why you replay conversations hundreds of times. You imagine different endings. You invent new explanations, not because you enjoy suffering, but because your brain keeps searching for a conclusion. Then dopamine makes everything even worse. Most people think dopamine is the happiness chemical. It isn't. Dopamine is the anticipation chemical. It motivates you to keep searching, keep checking, keep hoping, keep wondering. Maybe they'll text, maybe they'll come back, maybe you'll finally understand what happened. Every unanswered question becomes another reward your brain keeps chasing. It's the same system behind gambling, social media, and even checking your phone every few minutes. Your brain becomes addicted, not to the person, but to the possibility of resolution. There's another reason these memories become so powerful: emotion. The amygdala acts like your brain's emotional alarm system. Whenever something creates intense emotion, love, rejection, embarrassment, fear, the amygdala tells the hippocampus, "This is important. Store it carefully." That's why you barely remember ordinary Tuesdays, but you remember exactly where you were, what someone said, how your heart felt during emotionally intense moments. Your brain wasn't trying to preserve the person, it was preserving the lesson. The problem is, sometimes there was no lesson, only uncertainty. And uncertainty is something your brain desperately wants to eliminate. So it keeps replaying the same memory, looking for answers that may never exist. Here's the surprising part. Trying to force yourself to stop thinking usually makes it worse. Psychologists call this the ironic process. The more you tell yourself, don't think about them, the more your brain checks whether you're still thinking about them, which brings the memory back again. It's like trying not to think about a pink elephant. Impossible. So, what's the solution? Not suppression, completion. Sometimes closure doesn't come from another person. It comes from accepting that no new information is coming. Your brain doesn't need the perfect ending. It needs permission to stop searching. The next time someone's face suddenly appears in your mind, don't ask, "Why can't I forget them?" Ask something different. What unfinished question is my brain still trying to solve? That single question changes everything. Because once you identify the open loop, you stop fighting your brain and start understanding it. Your brain isn't trying to keep you trapped in the past, it's trying to protect you from uncertainty. It's simply using an ancient survival system in a modern world. And once you understand that, you finally become free to move forward. If this episode changed the way you think about memory and relationships, subscribe to Mind Origins, because in the next episode, you'll discover why your brain keeps comparing you to other people, even when you know you shouldn't.